Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. You are watching biology session, Microbial World Part 3. Children, we have been discussing about the microorganisms. They are categorized into 5 groups. What are they? Bacteria, protozoa and algae, fungi, virus. So far we have discussed about the bacteria and fungi. We have started algae. So, algae are aquatic photosynthetic organisms and are often classified with plants since they contain chlorophyll and cell walls. They are aquatic organisms found in fresh water, marine water or on the moist soil, moist surface, isn't it? So, these algae, they may be unicellular or multicellular, they may be solitary or colonial. Based on the major pigment and the color due to their pigments, algae are classified into different groups. What are they? Green algae, blue green algae, brown algae, red algae, golden brown algae, blue green algae. Okay, isn't it? They are categorized. Further, let us discuss more about this algae. Useful effects of algae we have studied. So, they help in nitrogen fixation. For example, blue green algae, they act as a producers. Most of the algae acts as a producers, isn't it? They act as producers and they provide food, especially chlorella, ulva, porphyra, they are used as food. Seaweeds are considered as delicacies in China and Japan, okay. And diatoms, they are called the floating pastures of the sea. The harmful effects of algae, if you take, when fertilizers get washed into the rivers and lakes, they upset the natural cycle and allow the algae to multiply rapidly to produce an algal bloom, which gives the lake a cloudy greenish appearance. Okay, this is called biomagnification. Okay. This can kill other animals and make the water unfit for drinking. Some algae become poisonous when they die and pollute the water. The bacteria feed on this dead material and multiply, thus consuming a lot of dissolved oxygen. The fish and other aquatic animals died due to lack of oxygen. So, this process is called eutrophication. Eutrophication and takes place in the rivers and lakes. What is eutrophication? Extreme growth of algae in the ponds, lakes, rivers and ditches is called as eutrophication. Okay. Protozoa, these are single celled organisms. They have animal characteristics, but are not considered to be real or true animals. So, Anton van Leeuwenhoek, he called the protozoans as animalcules. Proto means first, zoon means animal, the first animals on the earth. These are unicellular, ubiquitous organisms present everywhere, nearly everywhere on the earth, in water and moist soil. Their size vary from 2 to 200 microns, very small. About 20,000 organisms, the protozoa, all single celled or colonies of cells are found in this group. Amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena, Trypanosoma, or some of the protozoans. All life functions like nutrition, respiration, excretion, locomotion and reproduction are carried out by the single celled body. Okay. And the proto means first animals, protos, first zone means animal. The protozoans were not seen until the invention of microscope, possibly as early as 1590. In 1676, Anton van Leeuwenhoek first described the microscopic animals, and these are called animalcules. Who is Anton van Leeuwenhoek? Okay, he is a famous scientist who used his own microscopes and studied different biological materials, and he discovered bacteria and protozoa. Lender Muller, and he gave the name of infusoria and kept these animals in that group. The protozoa are located in most moist habitats. The free living species inhabit the freshwater and marine environments, and terrestrial species inhabit decaying organic matter. Some species are parasitic of they may be parasites on plants or animals. Okay. The most protozoa have single nucleus, but some have both a macronucleus and micronucleus. Okay. Means multinucleated. Can you give an example of a protozoa with 2 nuclei? You have studied in your, okay, you have observed the slide. Paramecium. Paramecium possesses 2 nuclei, micronucleus and meganucleus. The micronucleus performs reproduction in function, and macronucleus or meganucleus is vegetative in functions. And they possess a contractile vacuole may be present in the protozoa. If actually this contractile vacuole is present in freshwater protozoans. Why? Because the osmotic difference, due to which more water or excess water enters into the body. To remove that excess of water, contractile vacuole is developed. It is an adaptation in the freshwater protozoan. So, what is the function of this contractile vacuole? It removes the excess of water. The contractile vacuoles remove excess of water from the body, that is called osmoregulation. They are osmoregulatory in function, and they also possess food vacuoles. Food vacuoles are often observed in these protozoans. They help in the digestion of the food. The protozoa are distinguished from prokaryotes by their eukaryotic nature, from algae by their lack of chlorophyll, and from fungi by their lack of cell walls, and from slime molds by their inability to form fruiting bodies. Okay. So, means this sentence, this particular point, how explains how protozoans are differ from algae, fungi, plants. Okay. They are eukaryotic because they possess nucleus. They differ from bacteria, and they are differ from algae because they lack chlorophyll. They differ from fungi, they lack cell walls. They differ from slime molds because they will not form any fruiting bodies. Okay. That is the fungi, like mushrooms, they form the fruiting body called basidiocarps. Okay. Or mushroom. Okay. Next, If you take this protozoa, for example, if you take amoeba, amoeba is the simplest and the most common protozoan. The protozoan lacks cell wall and chlorophyll and hence are included in the animal kingdom. So, these organisms have the various shapes like oval, spherical, elongated, or may even lack a specific shape. For example, amoeba there is no specific shape. The many protozoan species, they move independently by one of three types of locomotor organs. What are they? Flagella, example euglena, cilia, example Paramecium, and pseudopodia, example amoeba. Okay. So, they are heterotrophic organisms and obtain their food from the host, and the protozoa are eukaryotic organisms with a definite nucleus and membrane bound cell organelles. So, you can see here they reproduce asexually by binary fission or multiple fission. The process of reproduction is complex and has both sexual and asexual modes. Asexual reproduction takes place by binary or multiple fission, which is common in amoeba. Some protozoans also undergo the sexual reproduction by conjugation, example Paramecium. So, you can see here a typical example amoeba. Okay, it possesses well developed nucleus, that is why unicellular eukaryotic organisms these are. They possess food vacuole where the process of digestion takes place inside the food vacuole, intracellular digestion, and they possess contractile vacuole. Contractile vacuole helps in osmoregulation, removes the excess of water which enters into the body through body surface by diffusion, and they possess locomotory organ like pseudopodia. Amoeba possess pseudopodia, Paramecium possess cilia, euglena possess flagellum. Okay. Next, amoeba, if you take amoeba is a protozoan that can change its shape. Under the microscope, it looks like a mass of jelly and can easily be mistaken for a particle of non-living matter. However, it moves, ingests the food and grows. To move, it sends out a false foot or pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. From one end of its body, it extends this pseudopodia. It is a locomotory organ, and the cytoplasm flows through the center of the cell towards the pseudopodium, and the rest of the cell body is pulled towards the growing pseudopodium. Okay. So, the cytoplasm is divided into endoplasm and ectoplasm. It also uses the pseudopodia to engulf the food or to get the food. The pseudopodia surround food, okay, that is cytophagy, we can call it as okay. The pseudopodia surround the food such as algae or bacteria and engulf it. Another example for this protozoa, that is Paramecium. The Paramecium is a single celled microscopic organism, it is a protozoan. So, as we discussed, it possesses two nuclei, macro large nucleus and micro small nucleus. It moves in water with the help of tiny hairs called cilia, which beat like oars of a boat. It also uses the cilia to capture bacteria. The cilia sweep tiny organisms into a mouth like opening, that is called cytophagy, or here it is mentioned as gullet. Okay. And this is the food vacuole, and it also possesses the contractile vacuole because it is also a freshwater protozoan. Okay. The body wall, its pellicle or plasma membrane, all the activities, though it is a single cell, protozoans are unicellular organisms, all the functions are carried out by the single cell like digestion, respiration, excretion, reproduction, etc. Okay. Next one is euglena. Euglena is a single celled freshwater organism that has flagella as a locomotory organ. Okay, this is the flagellum, a locomotory organ through which it can move. So, it is a typical organism. Euglena is a typical organism. It possesses both the characteristics of plant and animals. It possesses chloroplasts. It synthesizes its own food. The animal characteristic features are flagellum, okay, and the contractile vacuole. It is also a freshwater protozoan. Okay. Next, it contains chlorophyll and produces its food by photosynthesis. The useful protozoa. How protozoans are useful? The protozoa feed on algae and the producers in the aquatic ecosystem and provide food to other organisms like small fishes. Hence, they form an important link in aquatic food chains. The protozoans such as Verticella feed on bacteria and fungi, preventing them from showing down the process of breaking down in sewage treatment tanks. The blue whale feeds on shoals of fish as well as the minute protozoa called zooplankton. Thus, the protozoa form a link in the food chain. Okay. Some protozoa can decompose the organic matter and help the nutrient cycling, so improving the soil fertility also. And symbiotic protozoa exist in mutual beneficial relationship with other organisms also. Okay. Next, harmful effects. There are certain protozoans which are called parasitic protozoans. They belongs to sporozoa, okay, and they lack the locomotory organs, and exclusively these parasitic protozoans are included in the sporozoa. Okay. So, the parasitic protozoans cause a number of diseases in humans and other animals. Sometimes amoeba lives in the large intestine of humans and feeds on the lining and causes bleeding and diarrhea, and this is called amoebic dysentery. So, these amoeba are not the normal amoeba, they are Entamoeba histolytica. The scientific name of that animal is Entamoeba histolytica. It will cause a disease in humans, it is called amoebic dysentery. Okay, protozoans are known to be the notorious pathogens of man. Some examples: Entamoeba histolytica, which causes amoebic dysentery. Plasmodium is another parasitic protozoan which causes it is often called as malarial parasite. It causes a disease called malaria, okay, malaria fever. It is transmitted by the mosquito bite, female Anopheles mosquito. Okay. And another one, Trypanosoma gambiansi. It is a flagellated protozoan which causes sleeping sickness in man and other mammals also. It causes sleeping sickness. The disease is common in African countries and hence it is known as African sleeping sickness or African trypanosomiasis. So, these are some parasitic protozoans. If you take the parasitic protozoan Trypanosoma, a worm like protozoan which moves by flapping the membrane found on the side, lives in the bloodstream of human beings, cattle and wild animals. Trypanosoma. It is causes a disease called sleeping sickness. It releases a poisonous substance which makes the person unconscious also. That is why the name sleeping sickness. It spreads from one person to another by a blood sucking insect called sissy fly. So, some of the diseases they are transmitted by some agents. Disease transmitting agents are called vectors. Okay. So, these vectors like mosquitoes, house flies. So, here a special insect called sissy fly, you can find these insects in Africa, okay, African sleeping sickness, that is why it is called. So, next you can see the flagellated protozoan, Giardinia intestinalis. Amoeba, Sporozoa, Plasmodium, Ciliate, Balantidium coli, it is also a protozoan. So, intestinal parasites, internal parasites, most of the protozoans are. Okay. Okay, children, this is about the microbial world. Okay, and the virus are there. If you take these viruses, viruses are considered as the link between the living and non-living. Viruses do not have the cellular structure and not considered as organisms. They behave like non-living objects outside the host cell and behave like living inside the host cells. Outside a host cell, viruses can be crystallized and stored. They enter the host cells and hijack the host biochemical machinery for their replication. Since the viruses need living host for their survival, they are known as obligate parasites. They are parasites of host cells, and the relationship is known as parasitism, where the parasite benefits and the host is harmed. The viruses are the smaller than bacteria, and they vary in the size 15 nanometers to 275 nanometers, which are visible only under electron microscope. They possess a variety of shapes. The shapes of the viruses may vary greatly from spherical, polygonal, elongated or tadpole shaped. The viruses are termed as particles. They have an outer protein coat and a small amount of genetic material, maybe the DNA or RNA, and they are named on their host based on the disease that they cause. Tobacco mosaic virus, it causes disease in the plant, mosaic disease in the tobacco plant. Okay, measles virus causes measles in man. The viruses can also infect bacteria, they are called bacteriophages. Measles, mumps, seasonal flu, swine flu, dengue, smallpox, rubella, Ebola and the recent corona, these are all the diseases caused by viruses. Okay, antibiotics which we use do not have any effect on viruses, since they lack their own biochemical machinery. Okay. So, there is no medicine for viral diseases actually, only vaccination can prevent the disease. Okay. There is these viruses will undergo the rapid reproduction in the host cells and can replicate and reproduce only inside the host cells. Virus multiply by replication within the host. Okay, children. So, more microorganisms, more about it, you read the book. Okay. So, this is the completion of lesson. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.